What's up guys, Dan here for BladeReviews.com, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Spyderco Endura Generation 4. This is a modern classic and, real staple in Spyderco's lineup, so let's dive on in. I'd like to start us off with some very quick specifications. The Endura has an overall length of 8 3/4 inches. It's got a 4-inch blade if you measure from tip to tang, and it's got a weight of 3.6 ounces. So I got a couple other Spydercos here. Let's throw them up for a little bit of a size comparison. First off, I've got the Para 2, which is another classic knife, and then I've got the illustrious Sage 1. Where would I be without this one? So just gives you a little idea of what to expect in terms of the size of this knife. And really, when I look at the Endura, I see a slim and portable tactical knife. I know many people like to EDC this one, and it's because it is so lightweight for its size and slim. It doesn't take up a lot of pocket real estate, but when I like to carry something like this, I typically want to pair it with a smaller knife for my more kind of EDC tasks like this Dragonfly, and then use the Endura as maybe a dedicated kind of defensive tool or just for larger tasks. And yeah, let's take a closer look at the blade, which is made of Japanese VG10. This is actually a Japanese-made Spyderco, so the steel here makes sense. What we've got is just a typical Spyderco drop point design. It's a pretty lean-looking knife. There's not a lot of belly to the blade. It's really, like I said, kind of being pressed into more of a tactical application, I think, for this kind of knife's intended use. You can see the blade steel here. It comes down to a pretty thin point, pretty delicate point, so the tip at least. So this is a knife that you're going to want to be careful with. It's more of a medium duty knife, definitely not a hard use kind of knife. And it's been given a full flat grind, which is really one of the hallmarks of this 4th generation, and something that I know a lot of people vastly prefer over the original saber ground blades. Mainly for aesthetics. It's also a slightly better slicer, so there you have it. All in all, pretty nice blade on here. I like the steel too. Let's take a closer look at the handle, which is made of FRN. And the other nice thing about the 4th generation Spyderco Enduras is that you get your choice of handle color. This is actually my good buddy's knife, and he's carried this one a lot, as you can see. And his favorite color is purple. So he got himself a purple knife. I can't say purple's my first choice, but you've got blue, you've got green, you've got brown. Recently they introduced an orange version, so that would probably get my pick. But my point is there's a lot of different colors to choose from. As far as construction goes, you've got FRN scales over full stainless steel liners that have been nested, and you can see that these have been skeletonized a little bit. That's how you get that 3.6 ounce carry weight. Very nice. Construction overall is good. It's all screwed together, and you've got a closed back design since this is a back lock, and everything lines up pretty well. All in all, it's a nicely made handle. Ergonomics are good. You've got a bigger knife here, so it really takes to the hand, and you've got options to kind of pull back on the knife to extend your reach or choke up a little bit for more detail and utility type tasks. One thing I really like about the Endura 4 is the nicely jimped thumb ramp. It's really got some aggressive jimping on there. Really locks your thumb in place. Allows you to get some good slicing and kind of chopping out of the knife. As for reverse grip, as you can imagine, the knife handles quite well like this too. What you've got is essentially a folding ice pick. So this, like I said, would be great for those kinds of defensive sort of situations. Let's see here. The pocket clip is a standard black Spyderco kind of spoon clip. At least it was black at some point. Like I said, this one's been carried a lot, and it's a nice clip overall. It's got good retention. It rides fairly low in tip up position, not super low, but fairly low. If you want to switch to tip down, you can get a little bit lower carry. The other thing about this clip that I like is the fact that it's a 4 corners clip here, so you can really mount it wherever you want. Fully ambidextrous. It's very nice. It's a no-frills clip, but it's done right. Deployment is accomplished via a 13mm thumb hole here. Real smooth and easy deployment. Just takes just a flick of the thumb, and you've got almost 4 inches of blade here on tap and ready to rock. It's one of my favorite things about the Endura. Deployment is nice and smooth. You've got phosphor bronze washers in there, and this is just a classic. The spider hole is just awesome. So lockup. For lockup here, we've got a back lock. And this knife, like I said, it's been used and carried a lot. It actually has a little bit of blade play in it, a little bit of up and down, and at this point it might even have a little bit of side to side. This knife, like I said before, it's not a hard use knife, and this one's been carried pretty hard. I don't want to say it's been abused. I mean, my friend certainly took good care of it, but having carried it for over a year now, and using it daily, it has developed some blade play. And if you want to, or if he wanted to, he could tighten down this pivot and eliminate that, but you're going to get slightly stiffer deployment, and I prefer just having some smooth deployment on it. So I just loosened it up a little bit. So that's one of the drawbacks with some of these these Japanese Spydercos with the lockbacks, is you might get a little bit of blade play, especially if you're going to use it hard. My advice, if you're looking for more of a hard use kind of tool from Spyderco, go for a paramilitary too. It's just a much more robust design with it's just much beefier, and I think it will accomplish those more hard use kind of tasks a little bit better. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up our Spyderco Endura review here. All in all, this is a very nice knife. It's well executed, it's nice and thin, it's light, it's got good steel in it. It's no wonder that this has been in Spyderco's lineup for well over 20 years now, and has and continues to be one of their most popular designs. If you're looking for a slim, versatile, folding tactical knife, you really can't go wrong with something like this Endura. So that's the review, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Again, this is Dan for BladeReviews.com. Take care, be safe, and I'll be back soon with another knife review.